How can a low-tech teacher go high-tech?
How about with one of these? Hey there, cool teachers. Thanks for checking in. Since you're here, click that like button, because when you do, good things happen. Like this episode, Danielle Holsky-Anderson, you won something because you clicked liked. You could be the next one. All right, so we want to talk about 10 tips for low-tech teachers, right? The problem with tech is that a lot of people think that it's a methodology, and there's certainly a methodology behind technology. But it's really a tool. When we spoke with our good buddy, Matthew Godenius, he made a great analogy that mechanics don't go to a wrench class, right? They learn how to use a tool and they apply it in the situation that is best fit for it.
That was a great analogy, by the way. Thank you so much, Matthew.
Oh, I wish I could have credit for it, but
I know.
But I can't. And tech is the same way. So a lot of people say, well, that's for you techie teachers. I do it the old way. I've got this file cabinet and stuff like that. But we've got 10 ways that, and if you want to just pick one of these that you're maybe not doing and apply this new tool, then you're going to be able to fix a lot more sports car. Okay, the analogy fell apart, but follow me here. All right. First, and this is my favorite one, I think you've got to turn your students into collaborators, into partners, into little people, minions, if you will, that are going to help do the cool things that you want. What you don't know, they probably do. And what they don't, well, you do.
Make them the creators.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they want to do.
Hand them a new device and say, how, what, you know.
What do I do with this?
Exactly.
What do I do with this iPhone thing anyways?
That's a nice big iPhone.
That is pretty big,
Mine
isn't it?
is not that large.
Well, that's just the way it goes, Chris. So anyhow, am I next up here?
Yes.
So here's an easy one. Well, not that easy, but it does take some time.
It's easy.
But it isn't too hard. You can find some places where you can write some very simple grants and ask for money to purchase laptops, mobile devices.
There are tons of tools that allow you to do this. GoFundMe, Donors Choose, and there are some specifically educational ones too that you can distribute throughout the school district and let people jump in and assist you with your project. Doesn't have to just be that letter to the principal that you never get a response on.
Or how about a bake sale?
A bake sale. Yep.
I forgot about those.
Consider implementing BYOD, bring your own Doritos, or bring your own device, depends on what the context is.
Yeah, for you it's Doritos.
Right. And that's either in your classroom or as a school where students bring in the devices that they have and you find a way to make those things
I think that's
work.
going to be more and more prevalent because just about every child now, well, the statistics are out there. If you go to the Pew Internet Research place, whatever it's called, you can find all that information, and more and more young people have phones and mobile devices. So get your school to use Google Apps for education. If you don't already have that, it's
massively free tool.
It's a great way to collaborate and get your students going and into that sort of high-tech world.
And speaking of collaboration, get your students using collaborative digital documents. I mean, Google has a full suite of them. How about blogs or wikis, all for student writing?
Right. Set up a class resource site. And again, if you are using Google Apps, you have access to Google Sites. It's a super easy, user-friendly way to create a website. You can add other people to it. And so that might be your class website. Have them share their stuff with the world.
Yes.
Yes.
How about starting a makerspace movement? There are so many incredible devices that the students will put their hands on and create new things, whether it's the tool, the Makey, which allows you to do the keyboard.
The banana keyboard.
The banana keyboard.
I still can't get that
Or
one
of these
whatever.
really inexpensive 3D printers that allow you to do a bunch of amazing things.
Right, and if you're worried about not being able to do it, again, turn it over to your students because your students will be so interested. And how about making their own iPhone cover? That would be one thing that my kids would be all over.
Yeah, no kidding. It would be really, really cool.
How about setting up a Google Plus classroom community, not a Google Classroom, but a Google
Love it.
Plus community.
Yeah.
You can set up your own community in Google Plus. It's Google's social platform, network platform.
Free.
Yeah, free. And then students can share the stuff within, and it can be private. So it can be the
Yeah.
confines of a private community where students are sharing
Yep.
information.
I do that with my students, and whatever they post in that community stays in that community because it's a private community. So they're more comfortable posting videos and
And they get updates on their phone. So they're not only learning in the classroom, they're extending it outside of the classroom.
Oh,
And that's
somebody
what we-
responded to my
Right.
link. Check
That's
it out.
what we want them to do.
So try flipping your classroom, and there's tons of materials out there on what a flipped classroom might look like, and there are even some different methodologies of flipped that you can investigate. But feel like you're spending all of your time lecturing and no one's listening. How about turning that delivery of information outside the classroom and the use of that information inside the classroom?
And if you're a university professor, you can also maybe turn your course into a hybrid course by flipping the classroom.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're spending too much time in the classroom that doesn't make any sense for the students, try flipping it and maybe going hybrid.
And here's a bonus one for you.
Here's a bonus one. Have your students do the research for you. If you're looking for some iPads in your classroom, say, hey, go look out and see if there are any grants out there available. Let's try to figure out how we can work together.
Hey, have any of you ever worked a GoFundMe site? You know, to get a small team on how to figure out how that works?
Do that. I just read something interesting too on the Apple website. They are now offering iPad sort of app. Maybe it's coming up soon, where an iPad will be able to be used by multiple students in the classroom, and then will
Wow.
also connect to the school, and the teacher can see what's on the student's iPad. So
Oh,
that's coming
wow.
up. So that's going to really explode the
That
use of
really
iPads
is.
in the classroom.
Yes, it is. Very,
that's
very
it.
cool. Well, thanks for hanging around with us. There's the bell again. Boy, this was a short one.
Wow.
But if you stick around after school, we would love to talk to you about some of the pros and cons of the BYOD approach, the bring your own Doritos.
Right.
Do we have a bag of Doritos that we can have?
No, not yet.
Oh, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, like.